Welcome, welcome home. I'm in Portal, Arizona, and I was going to do some footage outside, but the wind is just blowing and there's some storms coming in. So I'm sitting in the car in Portal, Arizona, and for part of my trip, part of my adventure of life, I wanted to check out Portal, Arizona. There, it's known for bird watching and lots of beautiful sky watchers, stargazers come here to check out the skies. And so, I love the skies and the stars. And so I came to Portal, Arizona on part of my vacation trip and my investigation of the world. And I was picking up some energies, getting some downloads. And so I thought I would do a little bit of a channeling, and I'm receiving channeling from certainly the higher realms and Mother Earth. So I'm having pure divine light Mother Earth messages. So while I'm in Portal, there's a message about portals. And what I'm picking up from Mother Earth is almost a thank you for all of us hanging in there and learning how to step forward in the newer energy as she also opens up to more unconditional love to us. And our connection will get stronger with the earth. And so they're showing me like maps. Imagine if each one of us were maps of the universe, and we are. If we could look at it that way, each one of us being maps of the universe. Like if we could map it out and put it on a big wall, and there are maps of the universe, and there's Orion's belt over there, and there's, Milky Ways, and there's planets and stars, and all the way into many levels onto the earth. We do this, and we have maps of old and we have maps of new of our earth. And, as we change the streets and the highways and the things like that, the maps change over the years. And what's happening in the atmosphere right now, that not only is there a graceful, like the earth is saying, she's saying, breathe in the grace. And that is almost like matching and aligning and matching and aligning and matching and aligning all of our universal maps with our new streets and roads on our maps and the old streets and roads on our maps. And they're all aligning the portals, the roads, the gateways, the bridges, the waters that have changed over the tens of thousands of years. And we're putting them all back in order. So we're almost like lining them up, almost like stacking each one of our universal maps of who we are on top of each other, not invading, but on top of each other, making us a whole frequency of one unity consciousness. And so we're stretching a little bit because my map might not know about some of this energy over here. It might have been blocked by some of the past lifetimes or the histories of the earth or the mindsets or beliefs. So my map is being smoothed out and smoothed out, and your map is being smoothed out and smoothed out. And that map from those people over there that we didn't ever know that were alive 3,000 years ago, 16,000 years ago, across the earths and the cultures and the belief systems and the seas and the trees of all throughout time, all of the maps of all of the consciousness that's ever been in the whole earth plane part of the universe is being smoothed down and aligned. And that's what brings us the clean, clear, whole bandwidth of frequencies that we would call divine, masculine, feminine, divine order. So imagine, your map and my map coming into to balance, and all of our soul tribe and soul families throughout time, all the generations coming into balance, and all the stars of the sky coming into balance, everything that's ever been. And we're just smoothing it out. It's almost like ironing out things and putting them in order. And that brings the clear balance of the frequencies of the higher. I'm hearing that song, Bring Me a Higher Love. I would sing right now, but that's, no one wants that. So the higher love and the earth is prepared to bring us and allow us to open up our own portals, gateways, bridges to the unconditional higher love that we've always yearned for in our everyday life, in our maps, in our divine plans, our unique divine plans that are in union, harmony with the whole of the earth and the others. And it's becoming a vibration, a state of being of grace, higher love, unconditional love, and home. And we will start seeing this more and more in the next years of physically like going, oh my gosh, how could there in nature, how could there be such beautiful mountains like right over here to my side? There are spectacular mountains. And over here, there are some more hills and beauty and green. And there's a creek that I drove over to get to Portal, Arizona, which is weird out into like nowhere, it seems like. So Mother Earth and the divine energies are saying that this is a time where we will recognize more balance and more balance and more balance in our unity consciousness and our maps, our divine images of God that line up with everyone else's divine images of God, which makes the divine image of God, of our universe and our earth and our balance of wherever we're at, wherever we live, whoever we are, lining up to everyone else's energies. And they're saying we're going to do a little bit of a cleansing and a clearing of all the portals. As we know, there are gateways and portals and openings, and some would say some of the dark people used technology in grody ways and opened up dark black holes, dark gateways, where dark energies, entities just came in from different places outside of the universe and took over and were really cruel and mean and gross and just not only distorted us, but smashed us and annihilated us in many ways. So those are being cleansed and cleared and shut down, those portals. The inverted fallen Garden of Eden matrix portals are being shut down and stopped forever. And any extra creepers, leechers, sneakers, I could go on, dark things are being integrated or boom, thrown right back out. They don't belong here in our humanity. And those dark portals are being shut down. But on the other hand, our natural image of God, divine blueprint, portals, gateways, bridges, frequencies of bridges are being cleansed and cleared and realigned and realigned and realigned so that they're in perfect divine order and balance in every way for humanity to wake up and expand in our wisdom, knowledge, truth, happiness, and live as we were always meant to be, which would be heaven and earth. So they're saying do a little bit of a cleansing, clearing, shamanic ceremony here together with anyone that wants to. So I'm asking pure divine light, source, creator, energy, Mother Earth, pure divine light only, energy to help us in our own mind, body, spirit, soul forms or maps of our universe, that who we are, to breathe out. As we breathe out, we'll breathe out any darker shadow, gunky blockages, icky, straggler energies, views, viewpoints, belief systems, traumas, wounds, portals, wounds, gateways that were not meant to be in us, that were ripped into us and imprinted into all of humanity. I'm not talking about you or me more than anyone else. All of humanity. We're going to breathe that out as we breathe in grace and peace and joy and laughter and prosperity and fun, beauty, fulfillment, pure, unconditional love, pure, higher love. So we're going to blow out. Pure divine light. And we're going to breathe in pure divine light, Christed energy. Blowing away all the shadows. Anything that's been holding on to us, been gunking up any of our portals, any of our gateways, any of our doorways to the new energy, the new era, our destinies, our soul family, soul tribes, soul mates, our world as it was meant to be, our our lives, our daily lives, it was as it was meant to be. Anything that's blocking, anything that's gunky, any excess walls that have been created, excess heaviness and pain and wounds that have been created by the darker energies that board up our natural, pure divine portals, gateways, stargates, and destinies. So we're going to do it again. We're going to breathe in all of the light of the universe, only pure divine light, only higher love, only pure divine divinity. We're going to stand up in our own divinity, our own connection with source, of who we are, our own spark of who we are. And we're going to blow out all the blocks and the walls and the icy cold, painful things that we've gone through, and all of humanity, all of our ancestors have gone through. And all the tricks and the inverted grossness and mean things of the old. And we can feel our maps of the universe of who we are. It's funny because look, I got a map dress on. Let's see if I can show you. Everyone always says they love this dress. I have this dress that I wear sometimes. There's Canada. I know my Tommy is North America. And down here is something. So all the maps of who we are, each one of us, each unique divine spark of God, who we are, is smoothing out and blowing out all the gunky shadow darkness. And we're breathing in the smoothness and purity of the balance of how it was always meant to be, how it was written in the beginning. Reporting from Portal, Arizona, a few little moments of channeling with Mother Earth, Gaia, and the divine universe, the light of the universe, saying we're doing a good job and you'll feel some grace and peace. And as we look at each other, we won't see the ugly pieces that we used to first thing. If you're too much, too tall, too short, too old, too young, you don't like, blonde hair, then you always notice that first, right? If you don't like short, tall, rich, poor, other people's vehicles, you notice that first. And you go, that's being reversed. That's coming out of our maps of the universe of who we are. And you can recognize who people are. Some people wear t-shirts. Some people wear ties. And we will notice the beauty in all around us. And that's a grace, a blessing of grace that's going to befall over us and into us as meant to be, as divine will sees fit. And that'll help our maps line up each portal and gateway that are supposed to be here in purity and freedom and wholeness and clarity. And each waterway, each bridge, each tree, each blade of grass, each being on the whole planet are taking one step forward into the balance into the universe as it was meant to be. And so I'm very grateful to be here in Portal. Arizona is the tiniest thing I've ever seen, which is not saying much because I go to a lot of tiny places. And I'm very grateful to be here. It's kind of groovy. I do feel an energy, a little extra spiritual energy. It is in Cochise County and down the street from where Geronimo spent a lot of time. And so there's a lot of Apache Native American energy, which Mother Earth is saying that, sometimes over time, the different peoples overtook each other in different ways, and that scrunched up our maps, our divine sparks, our maps of who we were, and our portals as well. So as perhaps in many different places and cultures and time periods, indigenous communities and tribes and beings and connections were sort of, smashed. And those things are being reversed throughout history, even though some of the beings or most of the beings are not still alive in physical bodies, those in spirit. So all the people that have ever lived, all the beings, all the horses, all the birds, all of the fishes who have ever lived are also their universal maps are being cleansed and cleared, and everything that was done to them or imprinted upon them, just if they were displaced or had to be so strong and be in survival mode sometimes, those walls are being cleansed and cleared so that we are all coming into unity, harmony, and that is what we will call heaven and earth. where we respect each other, have dignity, and where we all belong. And those dark things that scrunched and built dark things over our walls and blockages over our doorways, or our opportunities, our relationships, our homes, our minds, our spirits, our souls are being cleansed away in this time period. So again, I'm very grateful to be in Portal, Arizona, reporting on the consciousness and how the universal consciousness and maps are being put back into perfect divine order. You're going to notice most of you, many of you are all beautiful old souls, empaths, teachers, loved ones, earth angels, psychics, spiritually connected in some way. And your way, your correct way, doesn't have to be like me or them or anyone else. Those are also being sort of vacuumed out so that you can feel your own sacred truth, your sacred union inside, and the wisdom and the knowledge of who you are, of all throughout time to the beginning of time, is going to be available and accessible. In my journey of healing for many, many years, I perceive, one of the symbols I perceive for helping me along my path and my map is the tree of life. And so I've been working with that. That's part of my self inner work, because if your tree of life is in balance and this part isn't dying anymore and this part isn't wonky anymore, and it shows a map of your chakras, your universe, and how things work, and your bridges and your portals and all of the things. And I've been working on that lately. So that's, for me, a theme in the ability to be able to come here to Portal, Arizona this week and line up in perfect divine order as much as possible today and tomorrow and for these days and weeks and months to come. And I send out many blessings to all of you and your connection with God, your connection with the earth, and whatever words you use. I send out blessings to each one of you. Feel the grace and the unconditional love, and the earth nurture us and carry us through our next steps. And look at the gateways, portals that were always meant to be in these times, cleansed, cleared, clear for you in perfect balance. Thanks, everybody. If you want a reading, you can make an appointment online. Links are available below. Thank you so much for the likes and the shares and subscribes. And I'll see you soon.